Some VHS tapes are forbidden. Some VHS tapes you have to keep locked away. Some VHS tapes are dangerous. Today, we're going to talk about one of those tapes. A tape from the dark depths of my childhood. A tape that's been languishing in the darkness for more than 20 years. A tape so horrifying, so disturbing, I can hardly stand to look at it. Barney's Great Adventure. I can't say I've ever been much of a Barney fan. I mean, I liked him a bit when I was 2, but by the time I turned 3, it was just for babies. I don't know what it is. He's just so nice. In fact, I think he's too nice. I'm sure he secretly wants to eat kids instead of making them happy. Now, that's not to say there can't be great shows for really young kids. I can name a bunch of them from my own youth. Postman Pat? Great. Bob the Builder? Iconic. Blue's Clues? Amazing. But Barney? No thanks. Barney's popularity was so strong that in 1998, he got his very own movie on the big screen. In fact, it actually managed to gross $2.5 million in the UK, making Barney one rich dinosaur. That said, this movie has kind of a weird production history. Apparently, while they were looking for a director for this film, their number one choice was Trey Parker. Yes, Trey Parker. They wanted one of the creators of South Park to direct the Barney movie. Now, I assume this was some kind of sick joke, but according to this interview, it's true, because he could make really funny stuff with kids. That's some twisted logic right there. But that brings us to today's tape. I've had this one since I was a baby, and honestly, I think it's cursed, because nothing I do will get rid of it. I mean, look how wrecked it is. I've ripped it, smashed it, thrown it down the stairs. I've probably even tried to eat it. But somehow, Barney has always been there to haunt me. Well, it's time to confront the giant purple pimple the only way I know how. Put him in the drawer and never speak of him again. Bye! Oh, alright, let's watch the tape. So this one comes from our good friend Mr. Polygram, and it starts off with, what else? Barney.
He's the world's favourite purple dinosaur. He makes learning fun for all. He's Barney.
This promo just shows how much of a monster Barney was in the 90s. He really was everywhere. I mean, look how many tapes he had. It's crazy. Was there an episode of Barney for every day of the year?
In every Barney video, you'll discover great games to play.
And I'm not too sure I like the rules of Barney. It feels like a dodgy contract you can't back out from.
Once you meet him, he's your friend forever.
No, please, anything but that.
Available at all good video stores now.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Next, we get a promo for another preschool show that was around at the time, Maisie Mouse.
Join Maisie in all her exciting adventures.
To be fair, this looks a lot more charming than Barney. When's it on TV again?
Coming to the ITV network spring 1999.
Maybe it's still on catch-up?
Maisie Mouse.
Finally, there's an advert for an interactive Barney toy.
Hello there. Let's have some fun.
I'll admit, I was always kind of fascinated by this ad. It's one of those quirky things that only the 90s could come up with, combining VHS and PC technology with a toy. And the idea of a toy that would actually respond to you was a pretty cool idea.
He interacts with your child on a PC to help him learn.
Wow, that's the right shape.
Now though, it's just plain creepy. I mean, imagine being alone in bed at night and Barney suddenly starts talking to you from the shelf. Brr.
The revolutionary Microsoft Actimates Interactive Barney.
There you are.
Movie time, and oddly enough, we start with Barney talking to us in pitch blackness.
Oh boy, it looks like everybody's here.
Wow, it's just like having the creepy toy. So the story begins with one of those horribly long car journeys with your parents. You know, it's always pouring with rain, you have a throbbing headache, and the only thing that keeps you sane is your Nintendo Game Boy. I've been there, trust me.
What's your hurry? They're dumping us for a whole week.
Oh, come on, Cody. You're gonna have a great time.
So our main character is Cody, a kid who hates Barney and everything that he stands for.
Get the doll out of my face.
Cody is my spirit animal, but his sister Abby and her friend love Barney and tease him with the toy every chance they get.
Get the doll out of my face.
Talk to the hand, cause the face ain't home. Leave a message at the tone. Beep.
Wow, they really were plugging that thing, weren't they?
Batteries not included.
Shut up, Dad. Cody and his sister are visiting their grandparents, who live on a farm, which Cody isn't exactly thrilled about.
You don't need cable TV on a farm, Cody.
I feel his pain. At that age, I couldn't function for more than 5 minutes without my PlayStation. And to make things worse, Cody's sister keeps annoying him with that Barney doll, much to his frustration.
It's me, Barney. Won't you come play with me?
No.
Why do I feel like the kid isn't acting here?
No.
But Cody's hatred for Barney is so strong that he steals his sister's doll and tries to get rid of it. Truly the unsung hero of this movie. He hides Barney in the bath and refuses to tell his sister where he is. So they imagine they have him? I don't know, it's weird.
Cody, where is he?
I don't know, Abigail. Why don't you use your imagination?
And for some reason, I have vivid memories of this whole bath scene. It's like one of my earliest thoughts or something. Anyway, simply by the power of imagination, I guess, Barney comes to life in all his irritating glory.
Thank you, Cody. It's so nice to have a shower after a long car trip.
There's no explanation for this at all. Apparently, if you just think about Barney, he'll spring into existence. That's terrifying.
What were we playing before, Abby?
We were playing a game of pretend, remember?
All right. I just love to pretend.
What's really bizarre is that the kids aren't even bothered by it. I'd be screaming my lungs out if this happened to me, but they act like it's nothing. I think Cody's just in shock, though.
A dinosaur? Barney the dinosaur?
So they take Barney to the barn. Get it? Barney? I've already been watching this movie too long. And Barney sings a song about imagination because this movie is yet another mindless musical.
Imagine, and you can be anything you choose.
Is it too late to watch the Rudolph movie again? And what kind of barn is this anyway? It's like a big playground with slides and ropes to swing off. It might be a fun place for a kid if you took out the big purple eyesore.
Imagine, and dreams of you before your eyes.
So being the true hero of this tale, Cody is less than impressed with Barney's antics and tries to kill him with his imagination.
I not believe in you.
That's okay, Cody. I believe in you.
Drat, foiled again. Cody tries to tell his grandparents about Barney, but of course they don't believe him.
Barney isn't just a little doll. He's very big.
Oh, sure, he's big now, but you just wait. These fads come and go.
Did the movie become self-aware all of a sudden? And as if Barney singing isn't enough, even the grandparents have their own song.
I'm in love with you.
Seriously? That'd be like if in Lion King you gave a song to one of the bugs. It's pointless. So Barney turns up too late to give the grandparents a heart attack and sings yet another song.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Where is the plot of this movie? Nothing is happening. I almost wonder if this was meant to put kids to sleep before the end. That way parents could just turn the TV off and get on with their night. Alright, Barney and Cody at least get a moment where they talk about dreams.
You know, Cody, even for grown-ups, the real adventures in life start with a dream.
A dream?
You could start by wishing on a star.
But the whole moral here is completely wrong. You're supposed to put in effort to achieve your dreams, not just wish on a star and have everything given to you. What do you say to that, Barney? Woohoo! I'm totally tripping!
I wish I could have a real adventure this summer. Do things that no one else has done before.
So Cody makes his wish and a mysterious egg falls to Earth. Again, no explanation for this whatsoever. But never mind, it's time for more songs!
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Let's get on his farm, he had a chicken, E-I-E-I-O.
Cody tries to escape this torture by hiding in the barn, but discovers the strange egg.
It's too big to come from the chickens.
Maybe it was a big giant chicken.
Personally, I'd just boil it. There could be an evil alien in there for all you know. They leave to ask their grandparents about the egg, and that's when another Barney character turns up, Baby Bop. And seeing as this is one of those interactive movies, she'd like to ask all you viewers at home a question.
Do you know where my blankie is?
Yeah, thought so. Their grandparents don't know about the egg, but they do know someone who does. Mrs. Goldfinch. Some kind of crazy bird lady who lives at the edge of some creepy woods.
Hello, I remember you. You're, Abby, and you're Toady.
Cody.
They might as well rename her Mrs. Applecheeks. Surprisingly, Mrs. Goldfinch doesn't try to kill the kids, but invites them into her home, which looks like a weird cross between a library and a funhouse. It's kind of interesting. Maybe it's just because I always wanted to have a go on those ladders on wheels, I don't know. Mrs. Goldfinch tries to help the kids work out what the egg is by loaning them her books, which can only mean one thing. Yet another song.
And we wonder what's inside it. We can't see who's inside it.
This one's a serious earworm. I forget about it for years, and then when it comes back to me, it just starts rattling around in my head.
Look around you, tell me what you see.
Miles and miles of books.
somewhere there, we're sure to find the key. We're no pile of schnooks.
Ugh, never again will I complain about the book message and the page master. So they conveniently find the right book and learn that the egg contains a dream maker, some sort of mystical creature, and when all the colours on the egg light up, it'll start to hatch.
It'll only hatch in the very spot where Cody found it.
Oh, you'd better get that egg back to the barn right away.
But before you can say wacky adventure, Cody accidentally knocks the egg out of the house, and it lands in the back of a truck driven by a cowboy making burgers? Okay, this has driven me crazy since I was little. Why is this guy making burgers? Who does that while they're driving? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I've heard of drinking and driving, but driving and cooking? What a mentalist. The kids try to chase after Mr. Cowboy, but they need to find some transport and use their imaginations to build a cart for their horse. See, this makes sense, using your creativity to come up with a realistic solution, not just wishing for anything. They track the cowboy to a festival in town, but surprise, surprise, he crashes the truck because he's not paying attention, and the egg goes flying into the crowd, where Barney runs into some other mascots, who probably wish they were half as popular as he was.
Barney, long time no see.
Hey, good to see you.
After another pointless musical sequence, the egg gets blown away, only to be caught by BJ, an equally pointless Barney character. Where are these guys even coming from? The girls only imagined Barney into existence, so what's their reason for being here?
What?
No!
BJ decides to help the kids out by throwing the egg away from them, leading to a slightly amusing Rube Goldberg sequence. I don't know, I like this kind of thing as a kid, leave me alone. The egg lands on a woman who goes into a restaurant where, again, no one seems bothered by the appearance of a giant purple dinosaur. Don't they know this place has a strict no shirt, no shoes, no Barney policy?
Where's the egg? We're just gonna have to look.
Maybe I could create a little distraction to get everyone's attention.
The kids search for the egg, and Barney distracts the waiters by singing a song while also choking on his tongue at the same time. But it turns out the egg has been sent away on a delivery order to the circus. I've heard of a wild goose chase, but this is more like the dumb egg chase. They ask around about the egg, but no one seems to know where it is.
Have you seen our egg? It's about this big.
No.
Eventually, they find a juggler with the egg, who seems to have an oddly philosophical outlook on life.
If there's a sudden gust of gravity, will the Dreammaker bounce?
Truly one of the great poetic quotes, and he totally wasted a good cake, by the way. The juggler throws the egg away, and this time it seems lost for good. It starts to rain, and while Barney and the kids find shelter, things turn strangely dramatic.
You don't even want to find it. You never did. No. It was crazy kid stuff. What's wrong with just being a kid, Cody? What's wrong with that?
Savage. But Barney cheers the kids up with our 1 billionth song, and everything is sunshine and rainbows again.
We're gonna find a way. We're gonna save the day.
They leave the circus and track the egg down to a giant balloon race. Wow, there's a lot going on in this town today, isn't there?
Hey, come back! Look, there's the egg!
But come on, how are 3 kids and a purple dinosaur ever supposed to get up there?
We're gonna pretend that this is the fastest, coolest airplane in the whole world.
Oh, boy.
You think a log can fly? We gotta try.
Nah, they wouldn't do that. That's just ridiculous. There's no way they could get away with just imagining a plane. Are you serious? Okay, I could understand the cart because that involved using your head and putting parts together, but this is just stupid. And I'm someone who thinks imagination is really important, but only when it's used to achieve a feasible creative end goal, not just magicking yourself out of trouble. Like, I use my imagination to write this review. I don't just picture it's already being finished for me, though in the case of this movie, I wish it was. Ugh. So they use their imaginary plane to fly up to the balloons and meet up with this guy, who pretty much shares the same reaction as me to this movie.
This is the most beautiful egg I've ever seen. But if it's yours, you'd better have it back.
He drops the egg into their plane for them, and the kids have to make a dangerous crash landing. No, the kids just manage to scrape through, and the grandparents finally learn the existence of Barney.
Hey!
Yes, I know.
Instead of calling the police on Barney and friends for kidnapping their grandkids, they all gather in the barn to watch the egg finally hatch. So the Dream Maker turns out to be a furry little gremlin thing. I don't know, just don't feed it after midnight. And after all that mystery, it turns out the Dream Maker just shows you your dreams on a giant TV screen.
Abby! Oh, is this your dream?
Yes, and I'm seeing it.
What kind of lousy power is that? We've just spent the whole movie showing that we can literally make things come to life just by imagining them. So who cares about seeing your dreams on TV? You can just think anything into real life anyway. It's pointless.
Well, you're just full of surprises, aren't you?
But of course, everyone loves the Dream Maker, and Cody finally has something special to admit to Barney.
I was a big doofus before, and I think you're pretty cool.
This might be the most tragic ending in cinema history. I mean, no, Cody, you were doing so well. So to wrap things up, Barney sings his most infamous song.
I love you, you love me, we're a happy family.
But don't worry, kids, this is why the fast forward button was invented. So Barney's friends beam back up to the Enterprise, and Barney himself turns back into a toy. Why does he turn back into a toy? I have no idea. If he's a toy again, then how is the Dream Maker still alive? I have no idea. That just sums up this whole movie. I have no idea. So that was Barney's Great Adventure, which is funny because it's the exact opposite of great. In fact, it might just be the worst movie I've ever made a VHS review of. It's just horrible. The story is horrible, the songs are horrible, the message is horrible, and Barney is horrible. And I don't mean to be so negative, but I've been hate watching this since I was a kid, and I just needed to get it out of my system. Maybe the only saving grace is that Cody kid who hates Barney, but even he ends up liking him by the end. I mean, I'm not mad, Cody, just disappointed. But that's it. That's all the Barney I can take. If you're looking for a preschool nostalgia trip, then just pick up an old Blue's Clues tape or something. It's much better fuel for a young imagination than anything from Barney. Thanks for watching this video, and look out for hopefully more positive reviews coming soon.
Oh, Barney, our purple friend, our friendship will never